Yeah, let's do it.
And you tell us, Joe and Zoe, where do you want us to hit next?
Joe and Zoe Roadshow.
Joe and Zoe Roadshow, like an investment seminar. I like that. In the UK, UK first, the first one in the UK.
That's got to be.
Okay, so we're in SHIBA, as you can see. I think this is, in terms of villas, this might be the most prime real estate land currently because of the proximity to downtown. So it's So it's literally downtown, District 1, then you have SHIBA. So I think in SHIBA, there are SHIBA Gardens, Opal Gardens. But I think opportunity at District 11.
District 11, yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting location.
Yeah.
It's one sort of community broken into multiple communities.
That's the challenge. A lot of people don't like the smaller cluster of villas, but I think the biggest one was the Carl Leggersberg.
Called Lagerfield.
Lagerfield,
yeah. I mean, listen, the value for money
yeah,
is there.
Yeah.
All right, I think you're buying less into that master community, but you're buying more into your actual
location.
Yeah, the location and your actual unit. I mean, what the built-up area of the 7 beds were 13,000 square foot. That's a big built-up area.
Oh, and the prices were not so bad, actually.
2,000 dirhams per square foot.
And in District 1 currently is, I think, again, touching 5,000.
No. We've seen the transactions just start to hit above 3,000 now.
3,000.
Yeah, I mean, again,
But the older villas, though.
Yeah, the older ones are still floating around 2,500.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here we have the opportunity, newer villa, somewhere around 2,000. That's
Yeah, but that's the thing, the older villas, they still need upgrading. Like the ones that hit above 3,000, 3,500
are the upgraded ones.
are the upgraded ones, yeah.
And then you have the opportunity. So there you can see Silicon Oasis a bit. That pineapple-shaped building.
Yeah.
So that's Silicon Oasis. So next to Silicon Oasis, you have the Elwood by SHIBA.
Yeah.
And then after Elwood is the Valley. So I think this concept of Elwood, right? 10 million square foot of land, 400 villas, low density. I think Oasis, Acres and Elwood started this concept of, bring an entry bracket. Like Oasis is 10 million plus. Elwood is 8 million plus.
Yeah, Acres launched around 6
million.
in the first phases.
Only villas, exactly, apartment buildings. So I think in comparison to Jumeirah Golf Estates, I think the one that we just saw, I think this is one of the biggest differentiating factors. Because I think, like you mentioned, one of the worst things about the forest villas in Shoba Heartland were the apartment buildings over there. The same problem was with the Keturah Reserve right here.
It's such a shame, right?
I think Keturah Reserve is one of the best constructions. The construction is phenomenal. But the apartment buildings facing it was a big turnoff. I think people don't...
I know.
Why would you pay, I don't know, close to what? Keturah Reserve, what, 25 million?
Yeah,
Plus.
I mean, that was the starting price, right? They were going, they go up to above 50 million,
Correct.
But the fact that you've got these apartment complexes overlooking, I mean, going back to what you said, I remember when I went to one of those forest villas, it was a huge villa by SHIBA.
Right.
Basement, you had the full works.
So the construction quality is phenomenal.
But you go outside, you've got your pool, as easy with Riviera.
And even right next to it, there was another villa, like sort of, like you can't enjoy your pool. You felt like someone's looking at you as well, right?
Yeah, and I think that particular project, they kind of failed on the forest theme.
Yeah.
Because forest villas, you expect a lot more substance to the community in terms of greenery. And I think that's where they've kind of learned from that mistake. And now we're seeing Elwood, Acres, Valley.
Yeah. So I think we've missed Barari. So I think District 1 and Barari, I think District 11 is sort of in between District 1 and Barari. Two very strong communities.
Yeah.
In this side of the world.
Yeah.
And I think I've covered all the villa communities today, right? I think if we head off to Meadows and then Golf Estates, I think we've pretty much covered most of the prominent villa communities.
Well, what I want to hear your opinion on Meadows, the Valley.
Investing with EMAR is like investing into a US Treasury bond.
Yeah. It's so true.
right? It's like as safe as it gets, you know. People do talk about distance, but see, I live in Villanova, so I live very close to the valley.
Yeah.
So if you look at from valley, if you straight and you take like a right, okay, you've got the villa, a Haven by Aldar,
Yeah.
Villanova,
Yeah.
Arabian Ranches 3, SHIBA Reserve, and then comes your Mudon and Walleyat, right? You straight hit that. So that's and then you've got Silicon Oasis where you have all the universities, the schools.
Yeah.
And then if you come straight, it's that Silicon Oasis, Academic City,
Yeah.
District 11, Nadal SHIBA, District 1.
Exactly.
So it's in terms of location, see, you're investing, see, the valley, like golf estates, is Central Park themed. So there's a 220,000 square meter park.
Yeah.
220,000 square meters. 200, is it that? The whole master plan is 4.68 square meters, right?
Yeah.
Valley is like 60 to 70 million square foot land.
That's insane.
That's insane. It's actually the size of Dubai Hills. The only community that's beating that is probably Oasis in Newtown, 100 million square foot. Elwood is 10 million square foot. So I think these are factors. Density is a very big question right now. You know, how many villas? See, 55,000 residents in Jumeirah Golf Estates.
It's quite a lot.
That is quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the valley, the way that they've created it as well. I think they've learned from previous communities where they can improve the greenery, and they've put a huge emphasis now on what they're building. And even like the viewpoints from like the Riviera villas, the ones that just launched, they specifically built them so they only backed onto a green belt. It's less than 5 million dirhams.
See, and Riviera, it's on the park.
On the park.
It's on, and the floor plan is beautiful.
Beautiful floor plan.
We're looking at close to 4,000 square foot built up.
Yeah.
A 6,000 square foot plot, 5 million dirhams on the Central Park. I think so this is why, you know, when someone tells me, hey, is this the best investment? I'm like,
yeah. It's like I live in Dubai Hills, right? And I live in a maple.
okay.
So to buy one of these maples now, 3-bedroom with 2 houses either side, 2,300 built-up area.
Right.
It's going to cost you 4.7 million.
But Maple, for example, right?
Yeah.
Good example, right? It's quite. Do you live in it? It's quite small. Right?
Yeah, it's quite. I mean, for me and Layla, it's perfect because you know, I mean, I don't have any kids, I don't have any pets.
Right.
But I think if a small family, it might be a little.
And now see,
small, you know.
it's brilliant. What is the rent of Maple right now?
265.
That's insane.
3-bed.
3-bed. So these are your potential buyers, and the rents are constantly increasing.
Yeah.
Sick and tired of paying the rent.
Do you know how hard it was to get my unit as well?
Yes.
I viewed one, it rented, and then I went to go and view some more, and they were like, this one's coming available in 2 weeks.
Right.
And they said, obviously, I knew what they looked like. So I just said to them, okay, they said, but you can take it now,
Right.
but we can't really view it because the tenants are going to leave. I just said, you know what? I know what they all look like. I put the checks down before I even saw it.
You know, when I tell this story, people don't believe me. I had a Swiss footballer.
Yeah.
Swiss footballer. Exact case like yours, where he was living in downtown.
Yeah.
Address Fountain Views. He just got engaged. He wanted to move to a house. He decided Dubai Hills is the place. I waited 3 months. He would pay in one check, but I had to wait 2 months. I didn't see the house. I told the agent, I don't want the commission. I'll put out the check because it's a really important investor of mine. But you want to live in a community like that?
Yeah.
Right? And that's for me, that's Valley. So Valley is basically Dubai Hills Part 2. Part 2. Joe, say you have refurbished villas in Jumeirah Golf Estates.
Yep.
So what are the prices like for an unrefurbished villa and a refurbished villa? You'd know better.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in the last 12 months, we've seen an increase of price that has gone through the roof, to be honest.
Correct.
Basically, like a golf course facing villa in a premium part of the sub communities. We're talking, 12 months ago, we could have got it for maybe 12, 15 million.
Okay.
Now we're close to like 18 to 20 million to purchase. But now the resale value has also gone up considerably.
But what are the built-up areas of those ones? The 15 million ones, what are the built-up areas?
Yeah, somewhere between like 7 and 9,000.
That's not so bad.
No, it's not.
That's not so bad.
It floats around like 2,000 to 2,300.
But these are the non-refurbished ones, right?
Non-refurbished at all.
The same thing refurbished, then how much does the price goes up to?
I mean, we recently saw a record-breaking transaction hit above 5,000 per square foot. So to put it into actual terms of price point, exit now we're looking 35 to 40 million.
The hilltop mansions in golf estates are going between what 40, 45 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we need to understand what the hilltop mansion prices are like, and then the golf course villas. It all depends on the price technically, and the floor plan, and the built-up area.
Yeah. I think, purchasing in a community like Jumeirah Golf Estates 2.0, I think the price per square foot has to be somewhat reasonable in comparison to the current one, but not exceeding a certain amount, because, I mean, this is a lot of villas going to come to the market.
See, the price per square foot is 2,000, and so that's why I'm a little stressed. And the population is expected to be 55,000 residents. So that you see all the apartment buildings now. Now, this, according to me, is a big turnoff for a lot of investors. They don't like having apartment buildings right next to. But Wassel, as a developer, it's really strong. I mean, I think it's really high quality. One of the biggest brands not spoken about, but one of the biggest brands in the UAE.
Yeah. And I think what you just touched on there, you've got to be strategic if you're buying in a location like this.
You have to be strategic.
Because, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there's about 7 buildings over there right now, high-rise buildings, which we haven't seen on this part of town.
Correct. Yes. It is weird because in the middle of nowhere, you're going to have... Now, this is funny. So this patch of land, it borders Oasis, which is potentially the next Emirates Hills. Then you have your Dubai Investment Park.
Yep.
And you have Dubai Industrial City.
Yep.
And then on one side, you have Motor City. So maybe it's catering to the, again, airport, industrial city, Jebel Ali, the south of Dubai, aviation city.
Exactly, yeah.
All of that. I think the highlights of this community are that there's an equestrian club, there's a tennis stadium.
Yeah, it says it here, right?
Right.
We've got Club Golf House, Central Park, Equestrian Centre, Hotel.
Mandarin Oriental. Golf course. So there are a lot of pluses to this, but I think it really depends on the floor plan, built up area. What are we getting? What are the prices? I think then we'll be in a better position. Because at this point, the apartments, if they're at a good price, could be quite lucrative.
They could be, yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, this is essentially buying high quality apartments from a, like you say, a world-renowned developer.
Correct.
In a master community.
Yes.
With uniformity. I think like most people, when they buy apartments, I mean, around here, you're pretty close to JBC, Arjan, Science Park, which, as we know, is just a bit sporadic.
Correct.
And
I think another thing, you have your schools, hospitals. I think those are going to be like commercial offices. I hope, as of now, this looks like they're trying to develop something like the high-end section of Dubai Hills. Yeah, it looks like the second half of Dubai Hills strip, right?
It's very true, yeah.
But it's around 4.8 million square meters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, it is stressful, but I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity. I think we just need to see again what prices they launch at.
Right.
We need to be selective about where we're buying inside of this community. As I say, if you're buying a high-end villa, like to be too close to the apartment complexes can turn you off a little bit in the future as an investor or an end user.
Right.
And yeah, like how modern are the floor plans essentially? But one thing I think, I mean, let's be honest, this project is probably 2032. If I had to guess, 2031.
2031, 2032. So, but that's good. We got time as well for people who are looking to move to Dubai. It's an existing prime address. It's not going to be. Jumeirah Golf Estates is one of the top communities in Dubai.
Yeah.
So you can stay in an existing very prime address and start of the master plan. That's a very big point.
Yeah.
Start of the master plan. With every launch, you always make profit. So that's one. Wassel, again, people don't know, like for example, Murabba Vale.
It's kind of like a hidden gem, right?
Have you ever been to Murabba Vale?
I went to the experience center. Yeah, it's
another level. So Wassel, because people think of Wassel of those ones near Zabil, Khifaf, those ones.
Yeah,
they don't know the high end side of Wassel, right?
Yeah.
So if Wassel actually can do a pretty spectacular job, and no, I have a lot of hopes.
Yeah.
You want to go to a community and check out the golf club?
Let's go and check out Jumeirah Golf Estate so people can get a kind of feel for what we're working with.
One of the houses that you refurbished, can we show them that?
If we can get into one, absolutely. We can go to Meadows. because in Jumeirah Golf Estates, that's
Sold out, it's not?
sold, yeah.
Okay.
But we have one in Meadows, which is
Can show that? That'll be really
can show that, yeah.
Okay, Tom. Let's do that.
Let's go.
This is probably, I love Joe for this. Like, see, there are very few people on the market who can actually, he's done this himself. I've seen Joe in the construction site getting all this done by himself. And there are very few people in the whole of Dubai with that sort of integrity in the market, you know. So a lot of respect, and hence the result broke the record.
We officially sold this property, yeah, and we broke the record, achieving above 4,000 dirhams per square foot in the Meadows, which, if you told me that 8 months ago,
I don't think I wouldn't have believed that if you sold,
No.
you would have sold 4,000 dirham per square foot. I wouldn't have believed that.
and I can't take all the credit myself for doing this. I did have a Chris Watt was actually helping me alongside. He was a good
We should
guy.
go inside, right?
Yeah, let's go inside.
Let's
yeah.
go. So what is the price of the villa?
16.35 million. We
How many
sold
bedrooms?
4.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This was the idea that we wanted to create. We wanted to create it with the end user in mind. We had to really think creatively, like how it can be that blend of modern sophistication, but still have an element of coziness, not to appeal to one type of audience, but a broad audience, you know?
No, I'm just
Taking it in, absorbing it. It's nice to see a house, isn't it?
so
No, when you sell a lot of off-plan, it's like, it's nice to see a house.
so nice, you know.
the
And
flesh.
this is Millet. I said I've seen that you've not negotiated. So what is this?
So we used a quartz on the countertop.
Okay.
Marble wasn't an option for this kind of...
Finish.
No, I mean, listen, if you use marble on the kitchen worktop, it stains and it's very difficult to get. So if you're chopping things, if you spill wine on marble, it's very difficult to clean.
Okay.
So that's why marble is, very much used in other elements of the house. But when you're cooking, it's much better to use quartz, which is better material in my opinion than porcelain, for example.
Of course, nice.
You know.
Yeah. No, this is. No, I love the color schemes, you know. And now this is how a house should look like, you know. See now, when someone like Joe tells me about a certain villa community, what the price should be, because see, he's gone through the whole process of acquiring a property, refurbishing it, selling it, identifying. See, when you sold the villa, I'm sure, how many buyers would you have spoken to?
We had, we collaboratively worked with a lot of great agents.
Okay.
And I think from, I'd say 6 weeks before it was completed, we'd probably done over 25 viewings.
Okay.
The real offers started to come in once the property was ready. We had over, I think, 4 offers. 3 of them were like, they were okay. And then obviously the final buyer.
See, but 25 viewings of people who wanted to get into a house for 16 to 17 million dirhams
Yeah.
in a community like Meadows, which is 25 years old, but the infrastructure is present because you have all the schools, you've got the malls, you've got the amenities, but that also shows, this is to the people who think that, hey, it's to buy a bubble. But you see the people coming in, they want to move, because when sometimes you tell on social media, they think that, hey, you know, we're just bullshitting our way through. But
Yeah,
you know,
they
this over here, this is reality, right? 8 days, most expensive property sold. It's not the newest community, and a lot of people complain about that. That, hey, you know, if you see now, okay, now question.
Yeah, tell me.
16 million, okay, 16 million. This is brilliant. Okay, you would get an Oasis, 15.5 million, a 5-bed with a basement. So would it have been, and Oasis would be like 8,000 square foot.
Yeah.
So, and this is like a 4,000.
Yeah.
4,000 square foot. So would you think it would have been better to wait 3 years, rent a place, and then move into the Oasis, or buy a ready house? But that's again perspective of the buyer themselves.
Okay, it's definitely perspective of the buyer. I think there's a few things to consider.
Right.
Something about Meadows,
Okay.
because in my opinion, I do not think Meadows is the best community by all means.
Okay.
even if you look onto the park and the pool, it's pretty bang average.
Okay.
But people buy Meadows purely because of location, only because of location.
Right.
Now, this is a cross-sellable product from Jumeirah Islands, Jumeirah Park.
Right.
So when buyers are coming in, prospective buyers are coming in, they're going to Jumeirah Islands. Okay?
Jumeirah Park, Jumeirah Golf Estates.
Yeah, no, Jumeirah Islands, which is in the Emirates.
Right next to,
which is next to here, right?
Yeah.
So they go to a villa there and they look, all right, so somewhat slightly bigger than this. Well, maybe a slightly different view onto a lake, yes. But you're going to be paying 23, for something good, 28, all right? So then it's like 10 million cheaper. They can come to the adjacent community.
Right.
They can get something onto a park, slightly smaller, but been renovated to a high standard. They'll take it. And I guess it's all to do with timing, right? Of course, if we look at it prospectively, I mean, Oasis makes more sense, value for money,
But
right?
buyer, where was he from?
Russia.
Okay.
Russian buyer.
Okay. And for himself?
For himself and his family, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of good perspective. This is true. I think this is a deep dive into the market to understand, okay, who are the buyers who are coming in.
Cash buyer as well.
That's okay.
Yeah. No mortgage, no financing. But you know why that was important? Because in Meadows, like a family community, generally we do see more mortgage buyers. The percentage of a mortgage buyer here was a lot higher than it was a cash buyer.
Okay.
But we just so happened to fall lucky with that.
We love that in Dubai. We've got a lot of cash buyers.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cash buyers, right? So
this is so nice. This is so nice.
Yeah, this is the...
Oh, I love this. I love the way you've done it. It's so nice.
This is the formal living space.
Oh my God, this is divine.
So one thing to note as well, as you can see, fully furnished and styled. If you look on the market now, a lot of people leave them unfurnished.
Right.
And what does that do? It gives the buyer no imagination what they can do with the space. They would have no idea. That some do, obviously, but here now you can see, right, okay, I've got a nice big sofa space there. I've got a 6-seater dining table. I've also got another space where I can relax over there.
Right.
Okay, so you can kind of put everything into perspective. But imagine if this was empty.
Yeah.
It would make a total difference.
No, I agree. Do you offer interior designing services?
Yeah, we do offer interior designing services. Yeah. I'll give you a business card after this if you want.
For interiors, contact Joe. Yeah.
Designing and styling.
Joe does the job.
And they did slightly different materials, so we just replaced the doors.
Oh, there's no door.
Yeah,
I thought there was a door. Oh, okay.
But you can see.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You've gone for this travertine tile effect throughout the whole house, keeping that neutral tone.
Yeah.
Everything is backlit, so you can see it just gives the character and the depth to everything. Like everything, even from where you'd store, your towels in here. You'd put the backlit shelves, and I think it just, again, adds character, adds depth. Even underneath here, you can see no
the
detail.
Backlighting, everything. It's
no
very
detail
clean.
missed.
It's very clean.
Yeah.
It's very clean. This reminds me of Murabba residences in the Palm.
Well, Maraba's this kind of style, isn't it?
It's got the same style.
Yeah.
Murabba's got the same sort of style. Yeah.
And
really good.
Yeah, this is but you see, when you walk into a house as well, especially, this is the first thing you see. You're greeted by, an olive tree, basically.
I think the difference between this and a modern house, I think it'll be a bit higher.
Yeah.
This is what? How many meters? This 3 meters?
Yeah.
And I think nowadays you could get up to 4.3.
Yeah, I think this is actually lower than 3 meters.
This is lower than 2.7?
I think so, yeah.
2.7?
But the thing was,
because I observed the door. Because normally nowadays you see those big tall doors.
Yeah. There's floor to ceiling.
And then, yes, floor to ceiling windows as well. I think that's another difference. I think there's small twerks that you can get from a new property. I love this. I love the family room.
Yeah, very nice space, right?
So, okay, so not ensuite. Not ensuite. This is the guest, and that's ensuite.
That's ensuite. There's a bathroom.
Oh, okay, so it's all ensuite. Okay, it's all ensuite.
This is the master. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what we did, we extended, so this is now a walk-in wardrobe.
Oh my God. Okay. Now this reminds me of SHIBA. Now SHIBA, the Forest Villas had this.
Yep.
They have this. But this is exactly what women want.
I mean, when a woman walks in, this is the first thing they say. They ask the husband, they look him dead in the eye, and they say,
this is what they want.
You know what they say? They say, right, Zahib, you can have this.
Yeah.
And I'm taking this.
The rest, yes. Yeah, I know. And probably they wouldn't even allow that. They would say, you take what's in the other room.
Exactly.
But see, now when a husband and wife comes, a wife is sold. Mm-hmm. And husband is probably sold there. Yeah.
So this is an extension.
Oh, you extended it. Nice. Okay. Okay. Oh, this travertine effect is the best. This is another thing that the older houses don't have. And this effect is what everyone wants, but not every developer gives that.
No, so now we're sort of
Yeah.
seeing these newer developments coming up, especially Acres by Miraz.
Yes.
You know, some of the
Cars
older projects.
Lagerfield that you mentioned.
The Karl Lagerfeld, yeah. So they're implementing all of these designs.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are developers now offering it.
These designs are what they and for this design, they're willing to pay a premium.
They are massively.
So
It's basically the difference between, you know, paying 4,000 for this, but then you can go to the Karl Lagerfeld in District 11 and get it for 2,000.
Oh, privacy. That's
Yeah.
another big factor. I think getting privacy. Oh, and you've got walking access to the pool.
You can't leave the back. For some reason, in Mar have this rule where they
don't
don't
give you-
allow a gate in the garden.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, sometimes it gets like that. In the older communities, though, in the new ones,
They allow, yeah. Normally they do allow, yeah.
in the older ones, they have specific rules and regulations.
Oh, but this, see, now for me, I love this, you know, because see, the kids can go play basketball, go to the pool, you can still keep eye on them, and, you know, it's very useful. And privacy, you know, I hate being looked straight upon. Now, for example, recently I saw the Damac Lagoons. Did you see those back-to-back villas with the walls were attached? Did you see
Yeah,
that? Did you see
saw
that?
them.
I was so bad.
Yeah, I know, man.
Really bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, see, with Emar, at least there's like a green belt in between, and then, okay, this distance, and they plant trees, so there's a concept of privacy. So, you know, these are what you have to watch out for in the market.
So this is one of the things that we both do when we are looking on the master plan for these communities.
Location.
We need to look at the location.
Product.
We need to get an idea of the space between, because
Yeah.
there'd be nothing like more disappointing than getting your villa and then you can see your neighbour.
And you don't like it, you know.
Getting
Imagine.
changed for
So
work.
now, see, for example, I'm in this house. I'm so happy, you know. I'm so happy for the person who bought this.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful. It feels like home. Look at that. It's so beautiful. I love this place. So nice. And that's another issue I think people are going to have is the room sizes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the newer villas, they would have a lot of natural light because everything is floor to ceiling windows. But a floor plan like this now, okay, I keep on digressing into, but for example, Alda,
Yeah.
the Wilds,
Yeah.
only the master bedroom had an ensuite bathroom, and the other two rooms had a shared bathroom outside.
That's not.
That doesn't work for
That doesn't
this
scream
price.
luxury, you know. No.
That doesn't scream. For that price, we're unable to sort of. But yeah, so I think this is the minimum size for an additional bedroom. It has to be ensuite.
Yeah. But the windows, so the exteriors of the front of the older communities, they suck.
Yeah, that's actually a really important point. Yeah, the exterior.
Like,
Yeah, the exterior.
If
Yes.
you take a look at any of those villas out there, we know,
Yeah.
you know, they don't look appetizing whatsoever.
The-
However, you know, like if we, again, going back to the Acres, because I very much studied that product, it looked amazing.
But you know, it's funny. See, when I look at the windows outside, it doesn't seem as bad inside because from here it looks like there's absolutely no light getting into those villas.
Yeah.
But
like
yeah,
nothing.
Yeah. Right? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We were able to change them slightly.
Okay. Yeah, I
know?
see that because there's more light over here. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like it's so bad, but
You know, you can basically knock out a slight bit of the concrete and make them a little bit bigger, but you can't do much. That's why I love the new design concept of the villas that are coming to the market.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to identify the right opportunities. The right
Absolutely.
opportunities. Okay, last bedroom.
This one's got slightly more.
Light.
Yeah.
Where did you buy the furniture from? Secret custom design?
Some of it's custom design, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the interiors.
The interior design services, please contact Joe on 0585. That's nice though, right?
I love it. I love what you've done. I mean, you know, it's. But did you personally get into it, or you had a designer?
No, I got into some of it. I mean, I'm not.
You enjoy it?
I enjoy it a lot, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for me,
I see that.
I am like, I like bringing it to life. I'm not the type of guy that's going to get super into the detail of like matching colours up. I'm like, that's not my expertise. I'll hold my hands up with that. But in terms of, say, for example, parquet flooring, real wood flooring,
Yeah.
versus vinyl flooring,
Yeah.
that's the difference between selling it for this price versus like 30.
No. So, no, man. This is. not everyone can bring a property to life. You know?
No, man.
Not every.
Meadows really was like
this is
old.
this is insane. And I love this too. I really like this. This small things people don't realize the importance of this. What's it called?
A glass balustrade. Is that what you would call it?
I don't know what to call it. Glass railing.
I think balustrade.
Banister.
Like a banister, but like a
Banistrate, like a banister and a magistrate. Okay.
yeah, exactly. We'll roll with that.
This is so Murabba Vale.
Yeah, Marabba, it is right.
This is so Murabba Vale. So if say I can't show you any content on Murabba Vale.
No.
I think this is the only idea that I can give you of Murabba Vale.
Picture these types of colours
Yes.
in a very nice big apartment. Have you seen the size of the balconies in Marabba Vale as well?
Oh my God, the patio.
Yeah, but they enclose it, don't they? So it's like semi-open
And you know it's 3,000 dirham per square foot in comparison to Jumeirah Emirates Towers, which is like close to that's sort of 4,000 to 4,500 per square foot. Burj Azizi 7,000 to 8,000 dirham per square foot plus, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think. What did I send you? I think one was 35,000 dirhams per square foot.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, no, but I love this.
I'm glad you like it.
So now, okay, let's sit. Where do you want to sit? Let's sit here. I like
Yeah,
this
sit there,
place.
yeah.
Okay, so now we saw Golf Estates. Then we know Elwood. We know Oasis. It's tough to say which is the best as such, right? It really depends on the investor's requirement.
Yeah.
I think
Especially now we've got, Gran Polo got thrown in the mix, even though we didn't talk about it.
we didn't talk about Grand Polo, you're right?
No, but we got Gran Polo in the mix now. We've got Oasis. We've got the Valley.
Correct.
I think it just depends on the.
Investor, what he's looking for, what's his objective, and
I think value for money. It's quite evident that the lowest price per square foot is going to be the Valley.
correct, and then probably Grand Polo, then probably Elwood, and then probably SHIBA,
Yeah.
and then Golf Estates. But then again, it really depends on the objective of the buyer. Yeah, I think. So that's why that's why for me it's silly when someone comes and says, "Oh, this is the best product in the market. Buy this now." I'm like, "Hey, listen, let's set up a call. Let me understand your requirements. Based on your requirements, we'll build a strategy, and then we can basically let's have a conversation, right?"
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all about, like you say, the prospective investor, what they want to achieve out of this market, how long they're willing to wait, what kind of vision they see of Dubai. And we share our sort of idea of the vision of Dubai. And then eventually they kind of make the decision themselves where they feel like they fall into, you know, because, like you say, an investor going into Oasis, first Gran Polo, first the Valley, there's just going to be three different types of people, you know?
Correct. So this was the first Dubai Joe and Zoe episode. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was a big, just completely not scripted. Like, let's just go here, and here. And I think it worked out pretty well.
So you should let us know where do you want Joe and Zoe to hit next and which product you want us to analyze for you,
Yeah.
I think Jumeirah Emirates Towers is quite trending. That's something we should definitely talk about.
Yeah, and we need to talk about the Sheikh Zayed Road. We need to get around to that.
Sheikh Zayed Road. I think there's a lot of investment opportunity there.
That video can spiral off into many different projects, many different price points. And I
The
think it's
entire
interesting.
because we just talking about that. I think we'll keep that for the next.
Yeah, let's not.
There's been too much information.
Yeah.
This video is majorly on villas, townhouses, locations, understanding. So now we're in Meadows. This is like the most old rich, like the old rich billionaires, millionaires live probably over here. We're talking about Emirates Hills. We're talking about Palm Jumeirah. That's the location. And then we've got the new rich in probably Dubai Hills, Natal SHIBA.
Yeah.
And all like the ultra HNIs again, Elwood and then new Investors Valley. So mix. Okay, today it was majorly villas and townhouses. And then let's hit Sheikh Zayed Road.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you tell us, Joe and Zoe, where do you want us to hit next?
Joe and Zoe Roadshow.
Joe and Zoe Roadshow, like an investment seminar. I like that. In the UK, UK first, the first one in the UK.
That's got to be. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.